Playing footy with the boys, taking a mark, playing footy with the boys, having a laugh, playing footy with the boys, getting on the sauce, playing footy with the boys, till it gets dark.
Did he touch you at all?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. Episode 3 of Barely Touched Him is live. It is the 7th of March in the year of our Lord, 2023. Boys, how are we, Corey and Joel?
Very good. It is. You're right. It is great to be here.
It is.
And just before we get into it, I think we'll kick off with just something a little bit special because it is the little fella's birthday.
There is a birthday elephant in the room. Yes, here he is. Crank the fader, Corey. Happy birthday, Joel. How old are you today, young man?
Thanks, boys. 24 today.
24. How is it feeling? Do you feel like you're in your mid-20s yet?
I feel like I'm a day closer to death, eh?
Yeah, well, we all are. It's a grim time to be alive. What did you do today? What did you do?
Had uni. Went out on the weekend, made the most of it then, and
Yep.
had uni. Now this. What could be better on a birthday than recording a podcast?
Well, you caught up with me for a beer, so that's
did,
pretty
yeah.
special.
Wait, that's a gift. That's a gift
That
in
is a
itself.
gift.
It is.
My day was all right, had work, and I'm glad to be here with you boys as well. Episode 3. Thank you for all the support. If you've reached out to the pod, it's been wonderful. After episode 2, we got a lot of people engaging. It's been really good. But we got to get straight into the footy news because we actually have some footy to talk
baby.
about. We've
Oh,
got
baby.
pre-season games. They all kicked off this week, even though the Wizard Home Loans, the NAB, the whatever cup it used to be.
I believe it's
the
the Wizard Home
Foster's
Loans
Cup is not a thing anymore. We
How
just get
great
some.
would it be to have that back?
I want a tournament. I want
Yeah.
cups, but we're stuck with what we've got.
Yes.
Jolie, you've got the scores. You're the stats man. You've written 5 pages
I know,
of
it's
documentation.
It's gone quite overboard
I thought
here.
we could go through one by one. We'll go through the practice games, some takeaways, some stats. Let's get into it, mate.
Alrighty, so the first game was Hawthorn v Pies.
No!
Yeah,
hello.
it was a typical close Collingwood one. We got by 6 points in the
6
end.
points in the end to 100 to 106. So nice high
Yeah.
scoring game, which we'd like to see.
It's a bit like whose line is it anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's made up and the points,
the
don't,
points
matter.
don't matter.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
do a little, not the points, but what the players are doing matters.
yeah. I think it's. I
Key
think the
stats, I think, are important.
There were a few preseason games where it looked like legit AFL footy, and there were some other ones
Yep.
where it looked like they were phoning it in for a lot of it. And
And
I
that
yeah.
could be said across a lot of these games.
Yes.
Just leading into the
Oh,
month.
everything we're going to say is
Yeah.
basically what we think could happen
Well,
throughout the
Yeah,
year.
exactly. We're all just speculating, but the Collingwood one I thought
What's your hot
was
takes?
yeah.
Okay, hot takes. 3 points. Warple, he needs to lead.
Yeah, well,
He's
I
the
think
oldest,
yeah,
most experienced Hawthorn midfielder, not counting Eamon.
he needs to
70 odd
fire.
games.
He needs to get touches, and he needs to be a contested
Well,
ball
he
machine.
had 30 touches and 17 contestant.
Yeah, can he do it once the season kicks off?
Well, who else is going to do it for him?
Newcomb. I think Newcomb can do it for them.
You think he's better than
He
Warple?
shouldn't be expected
I think
to.
Newcomb is going to be the best player on the team. Yeah, I think Warple.
But he shouldn't be expected to
Well,
lead.
Warple
No,
did that.
well, it's the team he's got. Clark. I keep thinking Clarko's still coaching.
Hey!
Bloody Sam Mitchell is. He's sold everybody else. He's traded everybody else. Newcomb's going to be your stud. I think Warple is.
Well, he
you
had
know,
30 touches off 67% game time.
Yep.
So they pulled him
Warple.
out early. Yep.
Yeah, but it is only in the Wizard Home Loans Cup, so
It
it doesn't.
is,
It doesn't
yes.
really matter. But I thought it was a good standard of footy in the Collingwood Hawthorn
Can you
game.
tell us about the Pies? Any Pies stats?
To go in the midfield, 31 touches,
He
13
was.
inside 50s,
He was turning it on.
Did he?
11
did he,
score involvements.
Did he commit
5
any
clearances.
crimes?
He
during
didn't.
the
He
match?
didn't commit any crimes,
Well, no, he
as
did.
far as we know.
That's a win.
He didn't get suspended, but he did get
He
looked
almost
at.
got suspended.
He
He,
got looked
almost
at.
got suspended.
Jordan.
Yeah,
please.
look.
He
and-
needs to play in the midfield every week. He's
But I
too
think
good to go
De
forward.
Goey is now that much of a. I hate to say star, but he kind of is that much of a star now that the tribunal are not going to suspend him when he should get
he's
suspended.
on that level. There is a certain level.
When's that going to
you
happen to
get
Toby Green?
Yeah, well, Toby's he exists in his own field, but I think De Goey is
Oh,
now
so he's
getting
more like a
the
Trent
dusty
Cotchin.
treatment.
No,
yeah.
more like the
Or the
Trent
Paddy
Cotchin.
Cripps.
The Paddy Cripps, yeah, exactly. I think De
The
Goey.
Cotchin. Cochin's never been banned. He's a
absolutely.
fucking dirty player.
Yeah, I thought. I thought there were good signs from the Pies. I thought Bobby Hill looked really good, getting involved up the ground as well as in the.
Dacos copping a tag now. That could be a thing for the rest of the year.
I've taken
dislocated the
Dacos.
shoulder.
Yeah, it's very tough for our boy Monica Lipinski.
Monica Lipinski, he's out until
Prayers up. Prayers up for you.
Week 8, I believe, is the conservative.
Yeah, it's second
estimate.
half of the season, they're saying. So that hurts, but also, like, we have the depth in regards to
for
midfield
sure,
with
yeah.
the Pies.
Yeah, good depth.
So, yeah, what was next, Joel, which is the next pre-season game?
Alrighty, so next up is Freo defeating Port Adelaide 92-61.
Yeah,
Now-
so the hype train is on for Freo, isn't it?
And this was down at Freo Oval. I was very dirty to miss this because my missus lives a stone's throw from
You're a
that
Freo
oval.
local now. You're over there that much.
It is.
He's an adopted local,
It's
yes.
my missus' house, Freo Prison, and Freo Oval.
Yep.
They're that close to each other. And
What feels more like home?
It was
Freo
that. It
Oval
was
or
that.
Freo Prison?
It was that
Prison.
Obviously the prison. It was at about 4 o'clock. I had to go to uni that day. I was filthy.
You wanted to get
I
there.
was
You
very
wanted to
filthy
watch
not
the
be down
Fife
there.
experiment. The
Oh,
Fife
yes,
experiment.
yes.
Okay, so I've
And
got
apparently
5
it's paid
stats.
off.
You've got some stats, Joel.
So 5 up forward. He had 3 goals too with 2 goal assists.
Yeah, and
not bad.
as you could expect, the WA footy media was loving
They lit up,
him.
they lit
Dwayne
up.
Russell has come out and said he could win the Coleman.
Which is,
But
I'm
it's also
sorry,
Dwayne
Dwayne.
Russell.
That's
So
absurd.
Nat, I'll tell you right
That
now,
is
I'm going on the
absurd.
record. Nat
It's
Fife
absurd.
is not winning the Coleman.
Look into the camera.
If Nat Fife wins the Coleman, get the camera on me, cause if Nat Fife wins the Coleman, I will lick Corey's ball sack. It's not
Whoa!
happening. It's not happening. I just want to do that anyway.
Well, I'm
but
going to
it's-
go round to Nat's house and start injecting him.
you need to lift, big boy. You need to lift. But I understand you're a bit more sold on the forward experiment of Nat Fife.
I love it. I think he's going to... I'm not going to say that he's going to win the fucking
If
Coleman.
he kicks straight, he had, 5 shots on goal and 2 goal assists.
The goals that he kicked.
He's always been an incredibly strong overhead mark, an incredibly
But what does he
good...
play as? Does he play as a, what?
I think he's playing
tall?
as the number one key forward. That's
Yes.
what they're playing him as.
You wouldn't, would you?
I think they're playing... I think they're going to play him as a swaying back forward. Like if shit goes south or even if shit's going okay, I think he's going to swing into the midfield.
I think from what the talk of the the rumblings,
Yes.
I think they're trying him and Tabiner as the two keys. Is Tabiner healthy?
Yeah.
Is he?
As far as I'm aware, but
So I
he's
think they're
not-
going to
he's
go
not
with
any
them as the
good.
two tools.
The problem
well,
is
Tabiner's still good. I think
Taberner's
Tabiner.
going to take the best key defender.
Well, that's the thing. Who do you play on who? Who do you give Fife the respect of giving them the
See,
best defender?
Here lies the problem with Fife. Like if he is healthy for the season, he will be incredible.
Yeah.
From all
Well,
accounts,
he's got to kick straight as well.
My-
which has always
that
been
is
his
that
problem.
is my problem,
from
Joel.
all accounts, his goal kicking is improved massively.
I will
Well,
believe
it
it when I
couldn't
see
get
it.
worse.
It's
Yeah.
very
Well, we will
the
see.
goals.
We will
shitouts.
see.
The goals that he kicked in this practice game looked impressive because he was doing check sides, but every one of those
But it's gonna
goals,
be-
he should have gone on his left foot.
It's gonna be the
he
big
should
stay.
have gone on his left foot, and he didn't. They look impressive because he's off on the angle, he's off balance, and he kicks it spinning right
This
on
is
the
what they're
banana
gonna
kick.
do.
You know who doesn't do that? Scott Pendlebury. Scott
Oh,
Pendlebury
yeah.
would
This-
kick
this
on
is-
his non-preferred any day of the week. You know who doesn't do that? Gary Ablett Jr.
Right.
Dustin Martin.
but-
These guys.
But we're not trying to ask him to be Gary Ablett
How,
Jr.
how did Gary Ablett Jr. go this week?
He is in. He's retired, but I'm saying Fife is considered
As a
by
good-
many people, including myself, to be one of the best players ever. I think he is one of the
Correct.
best players
Yeah,
ever.
correct.
I'm not knocking him as a footballer.
He's been
but
unfortunate.
around the goals, there are serious concerns.
You know, Saints
I think
almost
there are
picked him
very
up.
big concerns. Sorry.
Saints almost picked him up that draft. As in, we had him at the club training and we took someone else over.
We
Fife.
could write a book on people the Saints
I
have
think-
nearly picked up.
I think the way
Don't
that
understand it.
Fife is going to play as a forward, whether or not he drifts into the midfield or not, that remains to be seen.
Hmm.
I think he certainly will for at least a little bit, but how much, who knows? The
I
way
think
that he
he's-
plays as a forward is going to mirror the way that McStay is played for Collingwood. Inside the 30
He's a great pickup.
Inside
yeah,
the 30
overhead
meters,
marking wise, yeah.
Inside the
absolutely.
30 metres, don't give him any chances to fucking miss.
Yep.
Powerful, overhead, bang,
30
don't miss.
I think that he is going to miss those easy chances. That's my
He'll miss
issue.
Who, McStay or Fife?
Fife.
Yeah.
I think Fife, his set shot has never convinced me. He's never been a accurate set shot.
he's never been accurate. That's
but,
his problem.
It's a lot of that Freo's team yips from that lost grand final. They
Yeah.
were all
And this
affected
is-
by
this-
it. They were
this
all
is-
affected by it.
This is the thing. Like you watch games where he misses one or misses two, the rest of his game's shocking.
Yeah,
if he
it is.
gets one,
Yeah.
Oh,
He
then
can
he's
kick- he
on.
can kick 4.
Yeah. Well, it remains to be seen. That was a good
I'm
little
into
five
it.
debate. I'm into it. I'm
sold.
into it. We'll
I'm
keep
sold.
checking on it.
Flag medal 23. Confirmed.
He's on the hype train. He's on the hype train. What was next, Joel? Next pre-season game?
Next game we have Brisbane and Geelong. So 91-45. Let's be
not
honest,
bad, not
Geelong's
bad.
never been one that's really into preseason
Yeah,
games.
they were phoning it
They
in.
don't give
They
a
were phoning it
They
in,
don't
but
give a
still,
shit.
Brisbane looked impressive.
Yeah, and there was no Jeremy Cameron, no Hawkins, no Blitzarves, no Duncan, no Smith, and Danger played like half a game.
Yeah,
So
it's,
don't worry about that for Cats fans.
There is a lot to like with Brisbane, though.
Well, here we go with Brisbane. So you look at it, Ashcroft, Dunkley, and Gunston in.
Yep.
They've all excelled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Duncan
absolutely.
looks incredible.
Ashcroft's played a blinder.
Ashcroft
he's hot
is-
favourite for
He's a
Rising
kid.
Star at this
Oh,
point.
he's an unbackable favourite.
$2.60.
Well, we'll get to that later.
You liking Mateus Philippou?
No.
He's going to come second.
He's at $12 at the
No,
moment.
no,
I'm on him. I've got a bet on him.
I've got someone
yeah,
else
I
in
do.
mind
Yeah.
to knock off Ashcroft, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
But you look at like Brisbane's forward line is insane. Isn't who are they going to have the goals kicked? Yeah, who's going to kick goals? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So we've got Fort, Danaher, Bailey, Hipwood, Gunston,
Gunston's
McCarthy as
such
well.
a
Yeah,
good
I like
acquisition. Gunston is so
But
good.
they're all kicking 2 goals a game. They just share it around.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Brisbane's backline as well. Particularly, my takeaway from the game: 15 disposals and a goal to Keaton Coleman. Keaton Coleman
Yeah,
off
they're
a
saying a big
halfback
year for
flank.
him.
It's with Daniel Rich sort of going into the background a little bit. I think Keaton Coleman's going to get a lot more of the ball, even though it's only 15 touches and a goal in this game. He's going to find himself with space on the counter attack,
As a
and he's going to
defender.
be as a defender,
15
as a
touches
running.
and
You
a
could
goal
almost
is
play him on a wing.
That's
You
not bad.
really
What's
could.
he running
Like-
off halfback? Is he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been half back
Is he
from
fast?
last year. Oh, very,
He's very
very
quick.
fast, and he's a beautiful kick of the football. You watch Keaton Coleman this year.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
He's going to be involved in some very big plays. He reminds me
have
a bit
my
of
eye on him.
the Christian Salem role, the Adam
He's a
Sard
very sexy
role.
player.
Like, very sexy player. Big fan. What do we got next in the preseason games,
So my
Jolie?
favourite game of the week: Saints taking on the Bombers.
What?
Polished.
That's your favourite.
It was a
game.
Ross the Boss
it
masterclass,
was.
wasn't it?
Hey, a win's a win.
This, okay,
What were your notes, Corey?
Yeah,
to be honest, I didn't get across many of these practice matches this weekend. I was very busy.
Yeah,
with
you're a
the
busy
start,
man.
start of university this week.
You got things to see, people to do.
I did, however, watch this game, and I've got written down here amateur hour. it was awful. I've seen league matches that were at a higher grade than that.
I've seen
It was
C3.
terrible.
I've played in
was
C3 matches with
terrible.
more pressure on the ball than that, Joel.
Look.
Defend. We're going to get into his Joel okay.
We
Don't you
won't
worry.
get into the Saints parts of this game. We'll just get into the
Get
Bombers.
into the
couple
Bombers.
of
Then
things.
get into the
all right,
Bombers.
all right.
Peter Wright made Dougal Howard look so second rate
Yeah.
that if he could kick straight, yeah, very big chance to win the Coleman.
That's because
Yeah.
Peter Wright's very good. He's
Oh, I know
probably the
he
best
is, yeah.
player on that Essendon team.
2 metre Peter's-
2 metre
he's good.
Peter
But
is
that's what
very
I'm saying.
good.
This could be his year to actually win the Coleman.
Yeah, he could. I can see it.
There was
I
a
can
shocking
absolutely see it.
breeze, and he just made Dougal look second
See,
rate.
this
Yeah.
is the thing with the breeze. The commentators, they had not a lot to talk about. That
Yeah.
entire
There was a
game.
4 or
they
5
With
goal
the-
breeze
with
at
the
that.
football
kept
happening on the
fucking-
field.
They kept fucking talking about this fucking breeze.
Yeah,
So,
did you see
mate,
how
I think
strong
you
it
chimed
was?
into the group chat, Joel, and went, it's a 6-goal breeze.
Mate,
and then we
It's
came
a
back, you
It
saw
was
Goal
like
breeze.
a mild wind. Like,
It was
come
not a
on.
mild wind, it's
Play
a rabbit.
The
fucking-
flag was
play
limply just
fucking
going like
footy.
this.
Play footy, for fuck's sake.
So, apart from 2 metre Peter, did we have any other? I think Merritt chopped up, didn't he?
Yeah,
he got
I
a
was
lot.
thinking more little Alwan Davey Jr.
Yeah, is he going to
He could
start?
be round one bolter.
He's going to be a round one bolter. I had him in my fantasy team, and then I took him out.
Oh, he looked good
Yeah.
up forward. As just a young, they'll target him. So the players obviously know who they want to kick to. And he was an option. He wasn't one of those, hey, you just come in the team, we're not going to kick it to you.
Was there any? I mean, I know we said that the tactics of the practice matches are hard to read in terms of the points not mattering.
Yeah.
But is there any fingerprints we can see of some Ross the Boss?
Yeah,
type
can we
stuff?
see some
He just went
defensive
quick.
masterclasses?
No,
Did he go quick?
He went quick,
Yeah, okay.
which is odd.
Who was Jack Sinclair getting a lot of the ball?
See, here's where I think Jack Sinclair is going to go this year. He played a bit more up the field. You
Yep.
got Nazai Wangani Malira almost taking his role.
Off a
coming the-
halfback. Yeah.
So for all those ones that think he's going to dominate in fantasy again, I'd say Nazai is going to take that role.
Yeah, going to share it up a little bit, which I think you've got to do. The more guys in the back line
Jack
that can
Sinclair
do it.
should go forward, as in
Yeah.
through the midfield a bit more,
Yep.
because he's an absolute weapon.
He is. He's a great player. He's a great player. But we'll get into more Saints
We
stuff.
will, yes.
Yeah. What was
We
next,
will.
Jolie?
So coming off that great win by the Saints.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yep.
Oh wait,
thank you.
did they win that one?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I could have sworn the Bombers won.
No, we flogged him.
I
We
don't know.
flogged
Footy's
him.
the real winner.
the
Footy's the real winner here
Football was
today.
the real winner on that day.
No. Anyway, Sydney defeating Carlton. So
Yes.
that was 97
and
to 54.
Errol Goulden.
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
I heard
incredible.
about this.
Is this just some freakish
45
outlier?
touches,
And 3 goals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a 45 and 3.
9 clearances as well.
That's fucked.
I think
That's so
I think,
good.
I think anyone involved in Supercoach
3
or
goal
fantasy
assists.
is reconsidering
I-
their entire things this week.
but
Number
it's
one
all,
pick.
it's almost too good. Like
That's
where
what I
where
think.
I'm like
Well,
I can't trust it.
They
Like,
were saying that he's going to play more midfield time. If this is what more midfield time looks like for him,
Well, he's
Yeah.
listed as a /mid.
yeah, it's they've got a lot of guys that can slot in and out of that midfield sense. They've got like Chad Warner, Rowbottom
Yeah.
can do it.
Rowbottom.
They've
a lot
got
of good young kids as well.
that Parker can go in there. Like it's a lot of different looks they can get in the midfield. They actually remind me a lot of Collingwood for that reason.
Correct,
There's
yeah.
you're going to get a different look in those centre bounces every time. They were chucking Papley in there on the back half of
Yeah, he
last
did
season.
that a bit of last,
and
yeah.
he looked good. He looked really
He
good.
gave it a different look.
And I think the note that I had for this one, premiership hangover is not going to happen for the Swans. They're going to be right up there. They're going to be right up on the ladder again.
I would think so.
What do you think
Yeah.
about Carlton?
Oh, who knows?
Again, it's a preseason game. You can't.
Still picking him for 9th.
I think it would be hilarious if they got 9th again.
Yep.
Their list is so good, and I think Voss is a good coach.
The list is great, but the injuries
But I
are
don't think
bad.
they've improved.
I-
And also, you've got no Walsh. What happens if they lose Cripps?
Yeah, it's bad if they lose. No, I think it's worse if they lose Wiedering. Wiedering is a big out for them.
They're
and
so reliant on Cripps and Walsh that when they're not
Yeah.
there,
This is all speculation.
I
It
know,
is, it
but their
is.
contestant ball, which was their
look,
one-wood last
gun
year.
to my head, they get into the 8. They're going to get into the 8. And
You reckon?
absolutely.
Gun to my head, I think they go 9th or 10th.
Oh, but the Saints are going to be 9th. The Bombers are going to be 9th. All of these teams are going to be 9th.
Sorry, what? The Saints are
Gold
making
Coast
eight.
is getting in.
Gold Coast
We
has to
need
get in.
spots.
What was next, Jolie?
All
What was the
18
next game?
teams are making the 8.
They're all making the 8. They're all in.
Alrighty, so the Eagles v Crows, and that was an absolute belter.
Well, I
111 to
think
52.
I am on the bandwagon, and obviously I am biased because my
for the
beautiful,
Crows.
my beautiful boy Patrick Parnell,
Oh, yes.
obviously plays for the Adelaide Crows,
Yep.
and they do fly as one.
They do fly as
really.
one.
I was thoroughly impressed with their attacking gameplay.
Well, here's on their attack here. We've got their forward line: Ben Keys 4 goals, 1 Fogarty 4 goals, 2 Walker 3 goals.
dude.
Don't forget they've got Rochelle and Rankin.
Dude, I'm.
Their forward lines.
Oh yeah, how did Rankin go?
Rankin,
'Cause
he looked good. He looked really good.
He's
He
their
had 1
big.
goal.
He's their big in, right?
Yeah, but it was his first game with the club as well, and with
Right.
the boys.
Dude,
1 goal was
Keys up
enough.
forward is massive. I was picking him to be an inside
Well,
mid
what
for
about
like the rest
Fogarty
of his
and
career.
Walker?
Fogs, dude, the whole team.
Walker's-
The whole team looked so good. Riley O'Brien looked amazing in the ruck. He was
Oh,
getting
to be
his
fair,
own
who was he
ball.
going up against though?
Callum Jamison. You
yeah,
know
who's that?
A boy. That's who he
There we
is. Callum Jamison.
Boy.
He's a huge boy.
The
we will
Eagles'
get into.
tools this year. You don't have Nick Nat. Rothman just went out.
Yeah,
no
what's
one
the
knows
go
where
with,
Darling
what's
is.
the go with Nick Nat? How injured is he?
Oh, Nick Nat will play 50% of game time anyway if he's out
yeah,
there.
He's
it's
been playing 50% of game time
for about 7
his
years.
entire
yeah.
career.
Yeah,
But
it's-
you look
it's
at who's
very
going to
sad.
help Oscar up forward. He's never
Darling?
been. Well, where's Darling?
Did he play? No,
No,
he didn't play.
no one
did
knows
he?
what's happening with his foot.
So who else have they got as a tall? That's a good point.
No one.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, no
don't
one.
really
Rothman
know.
got injured. He was the one playing with him.
They've got Waterman, but whoa, that's grim. That is,
That's quite grim.
That's very grim.
But that's what I'm
Oh.
saying. Oscar Allen's never had that number 1 key forward role. He'll
Yeah.
get-
He was close to looking at it.
And again, it's all
Yeah, but he had Kennedy
speculation.
and
But
Darling.
I think I've changed my mind on a bolter into the 8. Crom.
I-
Adelaide Crows.
Yeah,
They can make the 8.
They can make the 8.
absolutely make the 8.
that's huge.
they can definitely
That's
ruffle a
huge.
few feathers.
Across all areas of the ground. Their back line, they've got very good key backs. Jordan Butts is an absolute gun with a funny name.
Do they
as
have
well.
the heart?
Do they have the heart? They've got Paddy
They've got the
Parnell.
heart.
They've got Paddy.
more
They've got
importantly-
big Darcy Fogarty. He's the biggest man in the world. They can win. They can win. They can get scalps. They can make the 8.
But more importantly, do the umpires know that Rory Laird plays for that team this year?
Dude, he
Is he
should have
gonna
been.
get any
I
recognition?
think I think Laird was an equal shout for the Brownlow with Cripps last year.
Yeah, but-
honestly, he
I don't think no one told the umpires that.
Yeah, no one told him. Yeah, no one told him. God, he looked good again.
He looked good.
really good. Yeah, go Crom. Flag Crom. We're on the bandwagon. All right, next up, what was the next game, Joel?
Giants Suns. So
Yeah, I watched this one in full.
Walking out.
I was very interested in this one.
Yeah,
45-point winners.
It was a classic Giants with Dermot Brereton on commentary game where you're going to get very in-depth analysis on Toby Green and not much else from Dermot Brereton. But I love that. I love
5 day, 5 night.
Yeah, 5 day, 5 night. It was. I think Gold Coast took their foot off the gas after half time, and GWS really didn't. They were pouring it on. They looked to have more
But
physicality.
there's a couple of things that look good with them. You had Riccardi up forward, kicked 4 goals.
Yeah, Riccardi looked very
So
good.
you've got to look at who's going to be scoring their goals. That's an
Yep.
indication of who they're
I
going to
think
go to.
you're burying the lead here.
I think that
We'll give this one to Corey.
You're burying the lead
Go for it.
on the Gold Coast versus
Oh
GWS.
well, of course. There's a big elephant in the room that rhymes with Landers.
Where's the cheer
There
button?
he is.
Sammy
There's our boy. Sammy
Flanders.
had the game
Absolute
of his
blinder.
life in the
And
preseason.
he follows and listens to us. So, hey, to Sammy,
We're going to get into the stats in Adopt Your
Congratulations,
Boy,
mate.
which is coming after this.
Oh,
But
I can't give him the stats.
no, we've got Adopt
No,
Your Boy.
wait.
We have to wait.
I mean, they are incredible.
They
Yeah,
are.
yeah, we'll
they
get to
jump
that,
off
mate.
the page, but not yet.
And everything I
Not yet.
said before about the points not mattering, forget that.
Out the window.
'Cause these
It's out the
stats
window
are-
for
these
Sammy.
stats are
You
incredible.
can't ignore him. What was next, Joel? Next game?
Well,
Go
actually,
straight
just
into-
on that
oh,
game
yeah,
as
go
well.
on, go on.
Finn Callahan, I reckon, could be the guy, if there's anyone, to knock over Ashcroft.
Interesting.
Finn for the Rising Star
Yeah,
winner.
Interesting.
So,
He's
sell
at
it, Joel.
He's
Sell
at
it.
$26.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that you know it off the top of your head.
We were just looking at it.
How
to be
many
fair.
times have you perused the sports bet odds for the Rising Star? Go on, Joel.
Baby, I want to make
66
some money.
66% of game time. So really not a huge game for him, but 22 touches, 2 goals, 90% disposal efficiency.
That's a good stat line.
That's his. He hasn't played many games.
Yeah, that's
I've
pretty
in
good.
a team where he'll get noticed.
I've said it to you before, Ben. Disposal efficiency is my favourite stat.
Yeah, it is. I like meters gained personally,
meters
but
gained's good.
disposal efficiency is good. Yeah, yeah.
Disposal efficiency is great.
You
And
know, Chris
we-
Main led the
I
comp in
like
it one
one
year.
percenters.
We have had many arguments about one Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
and my argument against him has always been disposal efficiency.
Yeah, and I understand, but obviously this Finn Callahan might have Mitchell picked in that
I
regard.
like it. I like it. I like him.
Yep.
Alright.
Next
The eye
next
on it.
game, Joel.
The Dogs are North.
Oh, I watched this one too.
Ooh.
That's the 10 goal winners.
The doggies looked really good. Liam Jones
Well,
looked.
anyone's going to look good against North.
Yeah, that's true. That
Can't
is true.
forget that.
North still looked like a rabble.
Liam Jones is something I've got written down here. 13 intercept possessions,
He
19
was
touches.
everywhere in the back
Love
half. He
the
was.
Well, they've been
Dogs
missing
forward
it.
line.
Yeah, love the dogs.
Dogs
forward
forward
line.
line. We got that here as
Until-
well. So Norton, Hugo Hagen, Darcy, Bond.
Ugle
Big
took a
Naughty.
hang
Scott
as
as a
well.
small.
Yeah. And Caleb Daniel did some really good things as well.
And Waitman wasn't there. Lob wasn't. Well, I don't know what.
Lob
going
was
on with
playing
Lobs.
but doing nothing. He was,
well-
as usual, being very soft.
Rory Lobb.
Yeah, look, it's Rory Lobb.
Look, I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out with Rory Lobb.
the Manhattan
He's a
forward
very
line.
soft player.
Yeah, look,
I
we're-
think the Dogs got a bit shafted there.
Usually, I'm like, hey, let's give the players the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to burn any bridges. But I have to agree,
Nah.
Rory Lobb.
He
Rory
kicks a
Lobb,
bag.
but
and
it'll be a soft bag.
It'll be in a flogging
Yeah,
of a
downhill.
of a game that they're already winning.
Yeah,
So good on you.
Just the amount of times I see him pull out of contests and not, dominate the space on a ball drop.
Meanwhile,
and, like,
in that game-
when he's a huge man. Like, I'm with you.
A friend of the show sent in a photo of one Aaron Norton taking a grab.
Yes.
in
Who
that
was it?
game. Marvelous.
Yeah, it was a
Absolutely
beautiful
marvellous.
grab. Norton is,
Big pack mark.
I would say, top
He's only
5
getting better.
contested mark in the comp. Easily.
And he's
easily.
only getting better. He's still
Yeah.
very young. What's he,
And
24?
it just,
25?
He's younger than me.
So much room
Yeah.
to improve. And
Yeah.
again, set shot accuracy will come with time,
Yeah.
hopefully. But
big
he
year,
is
big year for Aaron Norton.
huge tick. What was the next game, Jolie?
Next game. So we won't talk about North because let's be honest.
Why would you?
There's
Why
not
would you?
much- not much there,
it is, yeah.
is there?
Jai
So he-
Simpkin was good. Jai Simpkin was all
Well-
right. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. Put him in your fantasy team. He's cheap.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Melbourne Richmond, which was probably the most watched game of this round.
Yeah. The Gorn Grundy effect.
Yeah.
Can I just get started on that?
Yeah,
so
do
how
it.
good does it? So I just want you guys to think about this for a moment. You're paying how much for your new key forward Brady Grundy?
I think it's about
200,000.
300k a season.
200,000.
somewhere
Wait, so
somewhere
you
that,
guys
yeah.
needed a key forward, and now he's on your books as well.
We got McStay. and
We
he's
got
all
him
right.
today, yeah.
He's
He
all
kicked
right.
3 goals, Grundy,
Yep.
in a quarter and a couple of minutes.
Yep. I think you're forgetting.
And
that
you guys
it's
needed a key
pre-season.
forward?
We've needed a key forward since Travis Cloak retired. That's what we've
Again,
needed.
and hey, you've got one now, but he's playing for Melbourne.
Yeah.
And you're paying for him.
Oh, my.
Well, hang on a second. Are we
Okay,
talking
the-
about the game, or are we talking about
The Pies. The Pies aren't
Come
involved
on,
in this
Joel.
game. The Pies aren't
It's
involved.
not as Corey and
The
Ben
Collingwood
is
Football
okay.
Club is
Right?
not on trial here.
Jesus
The Collingwood
Christ.
Football. Okay, he was very good.
Okay,
He was very,
so
very
Gordon
good.
and Grundy
He
is
was pretty
scary. They
good. He
had
was
6
pretty
goals between them.
Yeah,
And
I was. My
I think that's
sphincter
gonna
was
work.
clenched. My sphincter was very
They're
clenched.
gonna be very,
it
very
is
dangerous
good.
this year.
It provides an interesting avenue for some very good tactics.
It's a new meta
to play
almost.
out.
It's a
Yeah.
new meta.
No
Like,
one
At
tried
what
it. No one
at
thought it
what
would
point
work.
have you had 2 of the best ruck/forward?
Never.
They are
slash
the 2 best.
agile
I will
midfielders?
say this: Gorn and Grundy over the past 10 years are the best 2 ruckmen.
You might as well go
They're
back
also
in
ruckman
time.
midfielders. That's
Yeah.
what I like as
You
well.
might
They're
as
not just
well-
sole ruckman like Nat Nui can't do anything around the ground. These 2 are midfielders.
I was about to say, you might as well go back in time and get peak Nat Nui when he was scooping shit off the
Yeah,
ground and
yeah,
running
yeah.
and kicking goals on the run and get all fucking 3 of them.
Peak
Like,
Nat
Nah,
Nui
that's-
was
You wouldn't
cooked.
want
It
that
was
because
very
then
good.
they'd remind people how shit Nat Nui is now.
Oh, look, he's just not playing, Joel. He's just not
He
playing.
plays 50% game time.
Yeah, look,
He's still a
it's
legend.
Why would you
grim.
play
I
that?
like you, Nick. You're
I
a
love
good
him.
player.
He was
You're a
back in the
good player.
day, but not
Don't
anymore.
listen to him. Don't listen
I
to
love
him.
Nat Nui.
We love it. Yeah, no. This is not
Unless
the
he
view
wants
of
to get on the pod.
Bailey. Yeah, if you want to get on the pod, Nick Nat, we'll get you on.
Yeah.
We'll get you on. Now, is that the end of the preseason games?
Well, I just think Melbourne's list is the best in the comp.
I agree. And I
Yeah,
think
insane.
Clayton Oliver,
Really?
as I've said, will win the Brownlow.
You think Melbourne's list is
Well,
the
go
best?
through it. Okay, you've
It's
got
Melbourne or Brisbane? Yeah, those are my
Yeah.
2 teams.
I hadn't
Perhaps
actually considered it.
Carlton. Carlton's list is very good too.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
yeah, on
Okay.
paper it is, but
Yeah.
it doesn't
Right.
translate.
Well,
Maybe
'cause they're all
that's
injured.
maybe that's a
'Cause they're all
segment
injured.
for the last.
Yeah, we could get into that
last,
next episode.
Next
before
week.
the
Yeah, we could
season
do it.
starts.
All right. Is that the end of the preseason games,
That
Jolie?
is.
Well,
Yep.
you know what's coming next. It is the flagship segment of the Barely Touched Him podcast, Adopt Your Boy, which we don't have theme music for yet, but it's going to go something a little like, boys, 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 I'm looking for a good time. Boys, 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 get ready to get adopted. All right, here we go. Now, we're going to check in with arguably the best boy game of all time in the history of the pod, even though it's only 3 episodes. Sam Flanders
Big old
had
Sammy.
a phenomenal game of football. An absolute
That's not the
That's
an
the wrong one.
absolute ball terror of a game. There it is, rather than the Seinfeld baseline. There's the applause.
He
Corey,
did very well.
how did your boy go? We're going to start with your boy Sammy Flanders from
Remember,
the Gold Coast
Sammy's
Suns.
listening.
Quite good. Very influential stuff. 30 disposals, which was 3rd total. 17 kicks, 13 handballs, 2 tackles, 1 behind. Unfortunately, not a goal. But as I mentioned earlier, the most important stat, disposal efficiency.
How was
70%.
Oh, you love that.
Quite good.
With all those disposals. That's
Especially
yeah.
for where he's playing. Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
was he getting much centre bounces? Was he in the forward line for the most part?
He was
Running?
in the middle. He was
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Giving it out. Giving it out.
You've invested in a good boy here.
I
If
have.
he's getting centre bounce
I have.
attendances,
Yeah.
he might be ineligible after this year. After, who knows? He could win some votes. He could.
Well, and we're not saying we had anything to do with this.
Hey, look,
But
I did give
I
him,
think it's Corey investing on the ground
I
floor.
did give him a pump up.
You
I
did.
I did give him a bit of a message to say, listen, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
These are my secret tactics.
and if
This is
Stewie
what-
Jew wants to get us down to
Did
the
he
club,
listen?
When Toby
I mean, I'm
Green
not sure
does
if he-
this with his shoulder, you need to do
I'm
this
not sure
with
if
your
he
hands.
listened to what I said, but I told him.
Well, the proof's in the pudding. Look at this. It's
performed.
the best game of his life.
I think you should give him
He's-
tips every week.
He's
Yeah.
been
I don't know about the
training.
best game of his life.
I think
but,
at
it's a good
AFL
one.
level,
But it's
I-
a good one.
I know he had a blinder in the NEFL final. I think last year.
He had a few blinders last year.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah,
in the big. In
Oh,
the big
did he?
boys.
Yeah, a lot of touches,
he had some
blinders?
blinders.
All
He had
right.
some
Either
blinders.
way, this is the boy performance that all
love to
boy
see it.
performances will be measured against.
Needless to
for-
say, I'm pumped up.
yeah. Oh, this
I'm
is the new
pumped up.
yardstick. We're all pumped for him. Sammy,
This solidifies him in
We
the
love you.
22.
We love you, Sam. What a performance!
And that's not just because he listens to the podcast.
Now, next up, we're going to you boys talk amongst yourselves while I do my quick change because I've got to talk about my boy.
What's he got? What's he got here?
Well, there's a prop.
Is he going to get out a camera shot?
There's a prop.
he's
Here we
going to
go.
get his.
Oh, jeez, he looks good without a
He's
shirt
going to
on,
get his
eh?
pen. Oh, he's got his pants off.
Oh,
Ben,
jeez.
it's so
I
small.
always knew he was
God,
packing.
what's
I thought it would be
Wait,
bigger.
that's small?
What's happening over here?
I thought it would be bigger.
We are here to talk about my boy, Patrick Parnell.
There he
I have
is.
put on for the audio listeners a signed 2022 Adelaide Crows team. I am on the Crom bandwagon. They can
Yes.
win the flag. Patrick Parnell with a glorious 11 touches
Love
in
it.
the preseason game, but it could have been easily 16.
Right.
He
How
was-
influential were the 11?
They could have been more influential, but there were times where Patrick was running up the middle of the ground, involved in the attacking Crom play, but they didn't pass to him. They could have, but they didn't. They had
What, do
Laird
they not
there.
like him or something?
Well, they just had, if you got like 4 guys running up with you because there was no pressure from
Do
the
we
Eagles.
need to have a chat to the AFL?
Is he getting bullied or something?
Adelaide-
I think they
I'll
should
go
pass
down
to
there.
him more because he was open. He was open in the middle of the ground charging, but instead they give it to Sloan or they give it to Laird.
Well,
or
we'll
they
go
give it to
down and have a
Keys.
chat to him then, because I think a few
But
players might
Paddy's
need to
on.
talk
He's
to.
he's left that whatever high half forward from the Eagles was playing on Paddy. I believe he had the one-on-one matchup with Jamie Cripps for a lot of the game.
Oh, okay.
And I think he wore him like a glove. I think Cripps only kicked 1 goal, and they probably had about the same amount of disposals as each other. But Paddy Parnell, blinder of a game, 11 beautiful
Love
touches,
it.
had a few
Love
tackles,
it.
had a few 1%ers. He did very well. I'm
Love
proud
it.
of my boy.
Very good.
Joel, your boy. We're finishing on him. Joe
my boy.
Richards.
So I've
how
got-
did he go?
See a lot out of him.
Well, look, he didn't play in the AFL practice
he
match,
didn't
but
play,
hey, he played in the VFL practice match.
Yep.
Now, since Collingwood, and a lot of people have said this on Big Footy, which again is the source of all great news,
Yep.
they've said that the Collingwood media department did nothing on this game. They didn't advertise or show any results. No one had
That is
played
a
good.
bit disappointing.
But you know what? I
disappointing.
thought I'd make up my own stats for him because that's about as good as we
Yeah.
get.
How'd he go? Give us the
what? You're going to make up stats?
Oh, Collingwood down
All
helping us.
right, how many disposals did you get?
He had 24.
Oh, that's a good outing. That's a good outing
And he
from
kicked
Joe.
3 goals as well. It was incredible stuff.
yeah. Oh, my goodness me.
They're just making up stats.
So,
now.
90% disposal efficiency.
oh, how many meters gained?
234.
That's actually not that good.
Look, but he was going into the forward line, so here we go. It wasn't a lot of room to move.
Yeah, he was sideways, backwards a lot.
exactly,
You know,
yeah.
he's tactical. He's a tactical
Again,
mind,
Collingwood
Joe
aren't
Richards.
helping us out, so I've got to make this shit up.
Yeah, we've got to give you a shout out, the Collingwood media department.
Get
You've got
that sorted
get
out.
on top of
Well,
this. You've got to get some
before we
representatives.
move away from the boys, just
Yes.
to shout out to all of the listeners, especially everyone that commented on the first episode about their boys.
Everyone, keep sending in your boys. Keep sending it into the
Are
mailbag.
your boys going well?
Are your boys going well? Who is your boy? Do
Who's
you
had
have
a blinder?
Who's had a blinder? Who have you adopted? Did they get dropped?
We
Are they
want
in
to
the
hear
tubes?
from you.
And also, you can send DMs to the Instagram. Barely touched him on Instagram.
The TikTok.
.com on the TikTok as well. That's I think our preferred method of contact.
Yeah.
that's where the
Instagram's where we
mailbag-
wanna go.
Instagram. Go to the
Instagram or
Insta
TikTok.
DMs. Go to the Insta DMs.
So every Tuesday morning, we'll put up a thing saying send in your questions.
Yep.
And we're all sweet.
We can
Send
do
them
that.
in.
And you too could be a part of Joel's mailbag. So
And it doesn't
next
matter
up-
what you're asking. Ask anything.
Next
Ask
up,
about
we've
us.
got our Where did I put my bloody phone? This is a shambles. Here it is. Article of the week here, and I've got a good one. And this is a bit out of left field. We did the tactical article after Russell Jackson, the tactics of coaching last week, how it's evolved over the course of the changing AFL landscape. But we're going to talk a bit about arguably the greatest player of all time. Now, Joel, without me mentioning who it is, who do you think would be, the greatest player of all time? I know this is pressure. Who do you think? Who's your GOAT?
Honestly, look, maybe a bit biased, but I'd like to say Zach Dawson.
Oh, yeah, love that, but be real. Really, greatest of all time. Who comes to mind?
Look,
Plugger.
it's hard to go past Lockett. Yes, he was
Yep.
a Saints legend, but
He's in my top three. He's in my top
an
three.
absolute pig, yeah. And
Yep.
with all
No,
love
he
to him.
wasn't. He wasn't the greatest player of all the time. He
Who's
was the-
yours, Corey?
He was the greatest key forward of all time.
Yeah, but we all know
of the
key
era.
forwards make up
Yes.
the team. Defenders don't win premierships.
Well, either way, a lot of people would say Gary Ablett
Gary
Senior.
Ablett, yes.
Gary Ablett Senior.
and they would not be wrong.
And I was made aware of it at the time. This happened in 2020, but we all sort of forgot about it collectively. Obviously, Gary Ablett Senior is, one of the greatest key forwards to ever do it. He's one of the most influential players in the modern game. One of the best players, probably the best player never to win a flag, let's be honest. But in 2020...
Good
he
hairline as
posted,
well.
Great hairline. In 2020... he posted this video. He has a YouTube channel, or he had a YouTube channel, because I tried to find this, and I think he's deleted it all.
He's one of the people that just should not
But
be
he
allowed
was
with
putting
social
out
media.
content. He was an internet king. He was putting out a lot of content for a while.
Quite interesting stuff.
Quite interesting stuff, to say the least. And I rediscovered it this week and went, this has got to go on the pod. Like, this has to go on the pod. Because we do love a hot take. We
is.
do love a conspiracy theory.
It's out there.
And let me go to, this was published by Fox Sports from Fox Sports. So they haven't credited a writer with this article, but this is from September 18th, 2020. AFL legend Gary Ablett Sr. has posted a lengthy rant in which he details a series of unfounded conspiracy theories, including claims the Illuminati deliberately created and released COVID-19.
Well, I'm going to cut in right there.
Yeah.
Who says they're unfounded?
They haven't put their name to this article. They haven't put their name to it, which is, I think, a bit weak, you know, from the Fox Footy or Fox Sports
Illuminati
person.
confirmed, in my
If
opinion.
you want to say the claims are unfounded, give us your name. Tell us who. Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed.
Look, there's some stuff out there. There's some stuff you should
Sorry,
read.
continue.
The claims came in a 27-minute YouTube video entitled "What's Really Going On and Who's Behind It All," recorded while driving. So he's done the
this is
classic.
juicy.
He's
While
done the
he's
classic.
driving.
He's done the classic boomer in his car recording rant video, which they love. They love. The
They do
boomers love
that.
to do it.
They do love it.
We're talking about, this is now a quote from the big Gaz Senior, arguably the GOAT. What a player. We're talking about the Illuminati, Freemasonry fraternities, secret society people
What about chemtrails?
who are behind. He doesn't get into chemtrails as far as I know. Who are? Oh, does he in the thing
I
you
think he
sent me?
does.
Oh, yeah.
I think he does.
Is
Who
he a
are
big
bu-
fan of Joe Rogan?
I think he's
he
more of an
would
Alex
be.
Jones
Yeah,
bandwagon.
okay.
But it's all part of the same community. Who are behind all this? It's been going on now since the plans all started with the Illuminati way back in 1776, the Geelong Great said.
That was a little while
Hang on,
ago.
It's
1776.
like American
is that
Revolution
the
time
American
or Civil War?
Revolution,
I think it is.
1776.
So I think he's
What an
he's
odd-
tying it back to the Freemasons starting there. And that's where I think a lot of this Illuminati lore comes from.
mate.
So this is when the elite
Gaza.
guys in the Illuminati started, controlling the world, and they just haven't taken an L since. Apparently, they're still controlling it. They haven't.
Best record.
What else has he got?
They've been working on this for a long time. This is still a quote from Gaz. To bring in the New World Order. They haven't really done a good job if it hasn't come
Very
into effect
slow.
since 1776.
Slow take-up, but
They're
they
all
got there.
globalists wanting a new world order so they can put Lucifer on the throne of the world.
So he's gone full Satan.
He's gone full Satan. We were
Right.
talking about globalists and
Do you
political
mean there's like a
domination.
president, or do you just think there's an overlord over
Throne
all?
of the world is a hard title
They
to grab.
literally mean Satan.
Yeah, because he's a big Jesus guy, Gary.
Yep.
He's a
He is
born
a
again
big
Christian,
Jesus, yeah.
and I
Yep.
think it's
So
all
is
about
his son.
God versus the devil. So the way we stop it is by turning to Jesus. I'm guessing. This virus was deliberately
Devil
made.
just seems more
Oh, so
fun.
he's delving into
Yeah, we're going into COVID
here.
now. We're going into
here we
COVID.
go, here
Because
we
this
go,
was
here we
peak
go.
lockdown time.
Here we go, here
This
we go.
virus was deliberately made and designed and deliberately released by these people because they're using it as camouflage for their many globalist agendas. Including the main one. Was that a fart? Including their main one to crash the global economy. Which is, look, we got to be honest. The global economy is not doing too.
I didn't press that.
That was a real fart.
No, just don't give me the sound box.
Let's be honest. He kind of called the economy a bit, Gaz. The global economy's tanking.
So what's happening here is he's bought into not one, not two, not three, but the entire conspiracy trifecta.
It's a
Can you
lot.
stop?
Can you stop
This
with the
is so
fart sound
good.
effects, Joel? We're talking about the
didn't realise this thing
globalists.
did
We're talking about the Illuminati.
What's the deal when the Illuminati
What's
take
the
over?
deal, Gaz? He's the greatest player of all time, but he's in his car talking about the Illuminati. That's my very poor Jerry Seinfeld
It's taken me
impression.
3 episodes to realise these buttons do this.
Now we're never going to get him back.
Nope.
But how many dudes do you know that have given a rant very similar to this?
We've got a mate ourselves.
Well, I've got a few.
We
I've got
will
a few
not name
mates.
him.
Oh, we will not
Oh, I
name
was
him.
gonna
I will
name
not
him.
name my mate. No, we won't. We won't name him. We
No.
won't name him. They're desperate to crash the global economy because they want to bring in a new global digital currency, cashless society that will lead to the mark of the beast.
Whoa! See, this is the thing.
which is
This
revealed in Revelations.
This is the Alex Jones thing.
Yeah.
Like you lead with something like, oh yeah, that's actually happening.
Yeah, no,
And
the
then
elites are out to
and
fuck
then,
us,
And
yeah.
then you bang.
Satanic pedophiles.
It's
Satanic pedophiles
Like,
straight away.
Okay, well you had me for a second there.
That's where this thing kind of gets into their heads because, you know, when you're an average guy that, you know, is having your
I
down.
mean, we are heading to a cashless society.
Yeah, we are.
That's
Digital stuff
true.
is all
That's
true.
just a fact.
And the elites in society are
but I'm not
assholes who
sure
are
if
trying to
it's-
fuck us.
I'm not sure if that's tied to.
I'm not sure if Dan Andrews is a satanic pedophile, which I think Gary might think this. The Illuminati's goal is also to reduce the world population of the world to 500 million because
Why 500 mil?
because 7.7 billion people are too hard to control. He says.
Right.
So
That's a big drop.
it's a huge drop. You'd have to kill so many people. So many
Why
people.
wouldn't you just try and go down by a little bit first? Like,
Just
hey,
a billion. Let's drop it by a billion.
let's go to
and
6.
even then, that's a big job.
That's a big job, yeah.
6,000% decrease or 700% decrease?
I don't think 7,000% is right, but I'm bad at maths. I'm bad at maths. If you do your studying, says Gaz, the vaccines they're planning to give us are very harmful to us and will kill us. It's been 2 years. I don't think.
Are you
the
guys
vaccines
dead
will
from
kill a
it,
lot of
or?
people. I'm all right. I've had 3. I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
okay.
You're alive. Corey's
I'm
alive.
alive.
I'm alive.
We're all
We're
alive.
doing
And
a
that's
shit
what they're
job of
trying to
killing us.
To be
do.
fair, I shouldn't be using. I've done a lot worse than the vaccine.
I've done.
We've all done a lot worse than the vaccine. Hypothetically,
There's a walk in the park.
If we're not condoning it, but if you were to do worse stuff than the vaccines, you know, there's some wiggle room. There's some wiggle room. I've studied a lot of end time Bible prophecy, and it's all happening right now. I can definitely tell you we're in the last days leading up to the second coming
Is this still a direct quote?
of Jesus Christ. It's a direct quote. It's a direct quote. So in that
Our
2
Lord and
years,
Saviour,
Jesus
Gary
Christ
Ablett.
hasn't come back.
So
We've
he-
given him a 2-year window. There's been no
So
Jesus yet.
he said this in 2021.
2020.
Right.
In
2020.
2020. Yeah, so like as the
cooked.
lockdowns were
It's
happening,
cooked.
it's very cooked, man. It's very, very cooked.
So that's
and then
after-
they've ended the article with, this is a great quote from whoever wrote this, the 58-year-old is considered one of the greatest footballers of all time. That's the end quote of the article. And just like, this is why he never gets invited to media appearances anymore.
Well, even before 2020, he was never really.
Yeah, he's always
involved
been
in
a very
anything.
weird
Grand
operator.
too busy on his
finals.
weekends partying. To be fair,
Yeah, look, he has some history with that kind of stuff. But you know, we don't know if he's on that stuff now. He
No.
could be completely clean. He's a born again Christian.
again, it would
Yeah.
make
But
sense
this
if
is
he
pretty-
was.
Yeah, exactly right. People do it all the time, but it's very. I just think it's very indicative of how athletes are now able to just post their thoughts online with absolutely no. You look at Kyrie Irving in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
You look at maybe a few dodgy AFL figures that kind of kept their mouth shut during the COVID thing. That were
Jack Darling was one of them.
Jack Darling was one of them. We don't know the story there. He didn't take the vax,
Well,
but he did in the end. He did in the end.
Again, some of our listeners,
Liam
a lot of
Jones
our listeners
didn't?
might not.
He's
know.
back now, and he's tearing it up. He's tearing it up.
We're based in WA, and the Jack Darling story was
Tore the state apart.
It was his mother-in-law.
It was huge.
It was
a
front page of the
massive
West
story.
every single week. He couldn't walk out of his front door to take the bins out
No.
without making the back page of the West.
Oh, no.
It was, but to his credit,
no one knew if he was gonna
did
play
not
or
post
not.
a crazy conspiracy rant. He
No.
did not. He did
No,
not
well,
do
his
it.
mum did that for him.
No, I think it was his with mother-in-law.
Oh
maybe?
yeah, mother-in-law. She was leading
Oh
rallies.
yeah.
But was she really?
Oh,
was she
yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
Was she at the QAnon
Well,
stuff?
maybe
She
he
was
just wanted to be a
leading the
good
rally.
son-in-law.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe he was that
That's
afraid
where
of
it
the
came from.
mother-in-law
Yeah.
that he did this and said, "Okay, well, I've got to keep her on side, keep the missus happy."
Yeah,
We don't know.
He's
Well, that-
really just, he's just ticking the boxes, saying,
Maybe.
he's caught between a rock and a hard place. But he's had the vax. Let's hope he plays round 1 and kicks a bag, Jackie. Let's hope. Let's hope. Next up, we've got another flagship segment of the pod. Is Joel okay?
You right, Joel?
Jolie, you're wearing the player issue Jack Bytel jersey, as you can see on the lovely footage there. After the Saints preseason performance, realistically, how are you feeling?
Oh, great. Way better than I was the week before.
Even better, you say.
How?
Even better.
Look, the kids are good. Kids are good. So
Yeah.
young Filippo,
Yes.
oh, he's a bit.
He
he's a
did look
sexy
all right.
player. He is one sexy player. Nazai Wanganeen Malira, you got Bytel was really, really good. I've got my notes. Hold on.
Yeah, get the old statistics up, Joel. Give us some-
Personally, I thought they looked terrible.
That was a 6-goal win, right?
They looked
It was
awful.
a 6. It was as
Machito
unconvincing.
Owens.
Yeah, Machito. I like the
Windhager
name.
went off in the first quarter, but they say his broken hand will be right by round 1.
You reckon they're saying he's going to be good for round 1? Okay, we were worried about Windhager there.
Now we got to think we don't
Prayers
have a
up,
forward
prayers
line.
up.
We don't have a forward line, and they still managed to find avenues to goal.
Who kicked the most?
Machito Owens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 3 goals.
Jesus.
That's a,
Now little
That's
Jackie
interesting.
Higgins actually did well,
yeah. Higgins is good.
From
Higgins
from
is
what
good.
I saw,
and
Higgins
Dan Butler
did-
was
did
back
go
to his
home.
tackling best.
Yep.
So that was nice to see.
Forward pressure acts.
Forward pressure.
You love
acts.
to see
and
it.
Wanganeen Malira off the back line, like his kicks are pinpoint. He's the best kick in the team.
That's pretty damning considering how young
Also,
he is.
Mason Wood, he just ran all over. Did you see his stats?
Yeah, but he's a very big preseason
Yeah,
guy.
but his thing is
He-
he's never been in a lockdown role. As in, they've always moved him around. He's an ultimate swingman. They've never settled. Where on the wing, I think he can do really well.
Yeah, okay, I rate it. Now, how did
Plus,
you
he didn't
find
stop running.
the game plan under Ross the
See,
boss?
this is what I was most. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I wanted to see the fingerprints
Yes.
of Ross, and I just didn't.
What
see
heavy
it.
defense?
No, no.
That's
I
what
just
he
wanted to
did.
see something. I wanted to see something at least a little bit obvious. That he was
Corey
doing
remains
something.
very unconvinced.
Very unconvinced.
What do you?
yeah.
What did you
Well, we
notice
could
that was
finish top
different?
4 and Corey
What
would
did you
still remain
notice that was
unconvinced.
different about the Ross the Boss game style compared to last year?
Quick ball movement was what it
Yeah,
was.
faster.
Where was
A lot faster.
Where was that? Were we watching the same game?
Yeah, they were running against the wind, mate.
It was a 6-goal breeze.
6-goal breeze.
It's taking 5Ks off their top speed. It is taking 5Ks off the top. So we're going to keep doing this and checking on the ladder position prediction of you. You said 8th. You're still saying 8th.
8th.
All
And
right.
Carlton to
I
go
like
9th.
that you've kept it. You know, you've kept it level. Come round 1. Who are you playing round 1 again? Is it?
Off Freo, and I'm going over.
You're going over for round 1, so you will be there with our barely touched him
I'm
report
hoping I can get
on
to
the
the ground.
ground.
Man on the ground.
I cannot wait.
Well, there's
for...
a chance I could get into the rooms. So we're hoping that
All
goes
right.
through.
Well, you better be filming content when you
Yeah.
do. You better be filming
Have
content.
a chat with
on
Rossi.
to some sports news.
Yeah, general sports news. Yes, there's been a lot of other general sports news this week. We had UFC.
Oh,
John
huge.
Jones, the greatest of all time,
Huge, arguably.
absolutely ragdolling
Bones
Cyril
Jones.
Gunn.
Yeah, that
Ragdolling him. It
It was
was.
a
That was-
disappointing.
It
main
was
event.
exactly how I thought it was going to go. It was.
But it was
And I
disappointing.
don't mean to toot my own horn. It's exactly what I said was going to happen.
I know that last week I said that Gain would win.
Yes.
But that's mainly because I wanted him to win.
You also
Yes.
said
Because
that the day of in the
I
group
very
chat.
much dislike John Jones.
Yes, and he's a very
Right.
dislikable man.
I just thought that it could at
He's
least be a
big,
contest.
though.
But
He's very big.
He's big.
of all the fights in that card,
Oh, I bet
that
he
was
is.
one of the worst ones.
Yeah, because Garn was not ready
It
for him.
was
Like Garn,
terrible.
yeah. The logic I had for the fight was I saw Garn against Francis Ngannou, who was not a wrestler. He's
Yes.
a boxer, a very
Yeah.
good boxer, but
And a big man.
and a big man. But he was having his beastly way with Cyril Garn in their
Yeah, he
heavyweight
was,
title
yeah.
fight. He was double legging for fun. He
Yeah.
was out wrestling Cyril Garn.
Yeah.
And you compare the wrestling ability of Francis Ngannou to John Jones.
Yeah.
I was thinking this is not going to end
Well,
well
it's
for
not-
Garn.
it's not even-
Immediately took him
It's
down.
not even
Immediately got him in the
It's not
guillotine.
even exactly wrestling per se. It's more just fight IQ.
Yeah.
Like taking your shot and going with
Yeah,
it. And
he's a
that's
true
exactly
mixed
what he
martial
did.
artist. It was
Well, what do you
unreal.
guys
It was a
think about
huge
the next
letdown.
fight then?
Huge letdown.
Miocic versus.
Stipe. Well, he
He'll
called- he
kill.
called out-
He'll kill Stipe.
He
Stipe.
called
He will
out
kill him.
Stipe. I think Stipe will put up a better fight than
No,
that.
he won't.
What,
I
last
think
more than
Stipe's
2 minutes?
Stipe
Hope so.
Stipe's done. He's been out of it too long. He looked not impressive at all against Ngannou, and I just think he's like
Well, it
his
could have
time
been
is over.
tied to Ivasa against John Jones. If
Now,
he- no,
he would
no.
kill
Oh, no,
Tai
no,
Tuivasa.
I don't get that.
Disappointing.
But I'm
It's-
saying if he had beaten Garn in that last fight,
Yeah.
then that could have been what actually ended up being the
Well,
matchup.
it speaks to how poor the heavyweight division
It
is
is
in the
poor.
UFC,
It's very
and
poor.
it's been poor for a very long time.
poor.
And I
It's
think
got
this
so
is
much
why.
potential.
Well, they've
to
been
be
propping
good.
up middleweight and light heavyweight for a long time.
Yeah, and
It's-
and 155's always been very good
Yeah.
since Connor got up there. Historically, the heavyweight division in the UFC is strapped for a really solid top 10. It is very. It's not good in regards to marketing, but now that John Jones has the belt, they can take the ball and run
Yeah,
with it.
I think-
Who's going
I
to beat
think
him?
so.
Can
I
he
just
just
need
be
to get some
undefeated for a
guys in.
year? Just stay off
But
the
we're
coke, John.
burying the lead of the card, in my opinion, because Alexa Grasso versus Shevchenko.
Yeah. Oh my
was
God.
Great fight.
incredible.
Awesome fight. Yeah.
Incredible.
Really, really
Did you
good fight.
see
She
her
came
head
in-
just explode?
Yeah.
She came in with the tightest boxing skills. She's Mexican, where
Yeah.
the national sport is basically boxing.
Yeah.
apart
Well,
from
you have to
soccer.
survive somehow.
She
Yes.
came in and she was just delivering the sharpest jabs, and
But then got her with a submission.
Well, Shevchenko delivered the spinning heel kick.
Yeah.
and she'd trained for this.
Yeah.
and she's
And she
since
took her
released-
back immediately,
She's
jumped
since
on like
released
a backpack.
video
It was impressive.
to prove this. That
Yeah.
she was waiting for that spinning heel kick,
Yep.
and as soon as it came, jumped on
It
the
was
back
beautiful.
and it was the most
And also,
smooth
like
move.
the choke she got her in as
Oh,
well.
right,
Like,
it was
you could
right
see
on
it.
it.
It looked like her
Right
head
on
was
it.
gonna
Right on
pop.
it.
It was
She got
violent.
her
It
It was
was
a great
so
fight.
perfect.
It was a great fight.
It was awesome. Oh
Very
yeah,
great
it was.
fight.
It was very good. And just you love an underdog win. Like
Yeah.
I think she was paying like $7.
Yeah,
or
it
something.
was. Yeah, because
if you got on it, well done to you. Well done.
Shevchenko's so dominant.
Yeah.
So
Like
dominant.
even in that fight, she still looked amazing. Shevchenko.
did, yeah.
Like
She's
those
the
leg
goat
kicks
for the
are
flyweight
just-
division.
in the post fight, she said, "Look, full credit, but
I was winning
I'm
that fight.
still the better."
Yeah,
fight."
I look. You could.
I'll
I
come
believe
back
it. Yeah,
and I'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
I'll watch that
That,
rematch.
we'll see.
And it's like it makes Shevchenko a more interesting fighter now because I was looking at this fight board at the card before the
made
fight
that
started.
very
I'm like,
clear in the group
yeah,
chat.
this is going to be dumb.
A lot of the
Shevchenko's
fights-
going to roll
A lot
her.
of the fights were not great.
Yeah,
to be
so
honest.
now now there's a storyline.
But
It makes it
the
work.
thing that I'd like to say as well is full credit to, as much as I drag the UFC, because a lot of the decisions they make are quite bad.
Yeah.
And Dana White is
Awful.
He's a tosser.
Awful. Yeah.
But the women's kind of fights have become so very entertaining.
Yep.
And if you put that into comparison with a lot of other women's sports that have tried to develop at the exact same time, like cricket,
It does stand above it, doesn't it?
It really
Yeah.
the womenens fights are
They are
just
high
as
caliber.
entertaining.
They
They're
are high
very
caliber. Yeah.
whereas
Yeah.
a lot of other sports are lagging behind.
I
Whether that's
agree
got
with
to-
that, yeah.
Whether
I-
that's got to do with Dana White and the UFC themselves, I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's
But
just-
it's still the
way that
platform.
is.
It still
Yeah.
provides them
Yeah.
the platform to do it. What else happened in sport? I know you want to talk about F1, Corey.
Huge.
Huge. I didn't watch the race. Tell me what happened.
Oh, mate, the F1 at Bahrain. I mean, last week I had a little dig at Fernando Alonso for claiming
He was faster.
that the Aston Martin car was going to be faster than Ferrari.
Yes.
My, don't I feel like a willy, because he claimed third. He got on the podium.
Nando. Yes.
Big Nando got on there, and not only did he do that, he got driver of the day, which is voted by the viewers.
Yep.
Because the passes that he was doing, he just showed his absolute class.
Yes.
He was zigging left and then zagging right. He got through both of the Mercedes. He went up the entire field. And the interesting thing is the Aston Martin car borrows the entire back end from the Mercedes.
Okay.
They've got the same back suspension. They've got the same engine. Basically the same car from the back. The aerodynamics are different.
Yep.
And they flogged Mercedes. They flogged them.
What colour are they?
Aston Martin's green
Okay.
and
Ooh,
Mercedes
yes.
are the black.
Yeah,
this
okay.
season.
Yeah. Black's in, isn't it?
So Nando got third and Stroll got sixth. And
Doesn't Red go fastest?
Hamilton got fifth and Russell got seventh.
Okay. Who got first?
Max Verstappen.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
And this
yeah,
is the other story of the day. It was not close.
Wow.
he
just smoked it.
he was about 45 seconds ahead.
Whoa.
No.
That seems like a lot.
Nobody's close. It's huge.
How the fuck does that happen?
So
How
Russell,
does 45 seconds?
and they weren't even. They could have gone further.
What the fuck?
They weren't stretching. So Russell from Mercedes has come out and said the season's done. Red Bull's going to win every race, and we're this is the first race.
I don't even watch Formula One, and I'm shocked.
it's unbelievable.
I'm actually
It's
shocked.
unbelievable.
So,
So-
watching this live, were you like, ah!
We knew Max was going to go fast.
Yep.
And we knew Checo was going to go fast. But the biggest story was Alonso.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
his car was very, very quick. Very, very quick. And he's not going to be as quick at the next couple of races, because the reason he was quick is because Bahrain has a lot of stop and go.
Yeah, so quick acceleration off the
Australian
mark.
GP is a lot more steady, fast track.
Yeah.
And perhaps the Aston Martin won't perform as well. But we'll see.
We'll see.
But
I'm kind of into this now. I want to see how fast this fucking car goes.
For perspective,
I'm not into it enough to watch it, but I
Yeah,
was in the car.
I'll watch the highlights.
in one
yeah.
race, Aston Martin has scored 45% of the points they scored for the entire last season.
So they're coming.
In one
they're
race.
They're in it now.
So
yeah,
they've
very
come from
good.
the back of the pack.
Very
Brum, brum.
cool.
And they are shooting to be on podiums.
All right, nice. I've got a rant about other sporting news. I go for the Chelsea Football Club
Yes.
in the Premier League. Now,
I don't know a lot about this.
okay, so the Chelsea Football Club have always been a very financially, successful team in my lifetime. They got taken over by Abramovich, the Russian billionaire, that just changed the Premier League in regards to transfers. So Chelsea have always been buying fucking everybody, and they've had a lot of success with it. They've got the best players, they've had the best managers, they've had Mourinho, they've had Conte, they've had all these guys. This season, it's not gone well. So Abramovich, the Russian, has lost control of the team because of the war in Ukraine. Can't own a team anymore. Russia's bad. You can't
So
do it.
he's Russian himself.
He's Abramovich is Russian, and he
That's
did
a
own
very
the team.
Russian name.
So the team has been taken over by an American guy named Todd Bowley.
Ted Lasso.
Not Ted
Oh,
Lasso.
that's the TV
Todd
show.
Bowley,
Oh,
who
okay.
looks like a little
Sounds
bit like
very American.
he just seems like he doesn't look like a billionaire would look to me physically in his
And what
physique.
does a billionaire look to you?
like
Not
a
like you.
reptile, like
Oh,
a
okay,
reptile. Yeah.
Is he part of the Illuminati?
He just looks
Getting
it's
back
hard
to
to
the Gary
say.
Ablett-
It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know if he gets invited to the meetings, but he would know some Illuminati
Just
people.
know them, yeah, okay, yeah.
And
sweet.
so Todd Bowley takes over the club, and in this transfer window, so this is only the January transfer window that has just come up. There's 2 transfer windows in a
Yes.
year where you can buy players. Chelsea have spent $500 million on players, new players, and they're already spending.
How many do you get for that?
Oh, I think we got about
25,
12 or
30?
13. I think we got about 12 or 13. $500 million. $500 million. And we can't score a fucking goal. We're playing all these players. We're losing games, like just very frustrating games. We're like 11th on the table. Cannot score a fucking goal. We sacked our manager who won us the Champions League. We had Thomas Tuchel, who's a G. Thomas Tuchel.
Can you explain to me, just in short,
Yes.
the role of a coach, a manager, and an owner?
A manager is a coach. Sorry, a manager is the slang or jargon term
Okay.
for a football coach. That's what we would call a coach in AFL.
Okay.
They're the ones, giving the team talks.
Yes.
They're on the side of the
Yes.
thing, instructing the team. They all listen. He coaches the team.
Right.
It's just football lingo.
He
An
gets given
owner
the players.
is the guy who owns the team because there is private ownership
and
in
the
world
owner
football.
sanctions the trades.
Yes,
Okay.
he instructs like the board, I believe, and the decisions come from the owner, but the manager gets input
It's
as well.
always been
It
quite
differs-
confusing to me.
It differs from club to club, I think. But
So you get the Clarko situation where Clarko dominates the
yes,
decisions.
it's because private ownership is a very sort of wide spectrum.
It's odd, isn't it? The
It is
private
odd. I'm
ownership.
glad that AFL doesn't have it. I'm very
I'm
glad
hoping
that
it
AFL doesn't
has
have it.
Every so often, a little thing pops up like, oh, we should do it. And then
But the title
that out.
race in
How's it go, Corey?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The title race in the EPL is very interesting. It's Arsenal against Man City.
how's my adopted team? We were talking about this a few weeks ago off pod.
Who did you
Tottenham
adopt again?
Forest?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
So
How
they're
am I
all right.
doing?
They're doing as good as you could think a team just out of just being promoted to the Premier League could do. They look to be avoiding relegation, which is good. I think they're about 17th on the ladder out
my
of like
best
22
player?
teams. Oh, I haven't watched enough Forest games to know.
I'm going to start watching.
But they've got Jesse Lingard, who used to play for Man United, which is a good
name.
pickup. They've
Good
also
name.
signed a lot of players, which is good. Forest are going okay.
So how does Chelsea dig out of this $500 million hole?
We need to play a striker. We have
Right.
we are playing a guy named Kai Havertz, who's a German,
Shit name.
who is not a dedicated striker, but for some reason our manager Graham Potter keeps playing him as our sole striker. We're not scoring goals. It's football. We're spending $500 million. We're not scoring goals. I'm upset. Next sporting
You
news.
should be the manager.
Joel, what have you got?
Hey,
what have you got?
You got to take
I'm
this.
pissed
You got
off.
to take this
It's-
off him. He's very upset.
It upsets
Yeah,
me
I'll come
so
in now and
much.
save-
Nadia has heard this every night. I stay up to 1 a.m. to watch Chelsea, and I'm like,
hey,
oh.
hey,
All right, show boss Joel's going
alright.
to come in and save the day now.
Give me some
He
good
has
news,
a
Joel.
Stroke.
You got some tennis stuff?
Yeah, I do have some tennis. Alex de Minaur, our little boy.
The demon.
He's won, hasn't he, the demon?
yeah,
Yeah, an
best friend of his
ATP
career.
500 tournament.
Yep.
So
Very
he's-
good.
Is that
that's-
good?
Very good.
Yeah, very, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
you've got
Very
Grand
good.
Slam, you've got ATP 1000s, which is like Indian Wells, that type of thing. And then you've got ATP 500,
He's
ATP
tracking well, isn't he?
250s,
Yeah,
and
the
then
demon.
He's
Challenger.
tracking well.
But this is big, and he cut a couple of big scalps on the way.
Yeah, who did he get?
So he took over Holger Rune, who's ranked 7 in the world, to get into the grand final.
Oh, okay.
And also
Very
Tommy
good.
Paul, he beat in the final to win it.
Yep.
And now he's sitting at 18th in the world.
18th from the
Love
demon.
that
Yeah,
from
and
the
Is he
he'll
the
go
demon.
into-
highest ranked Australian, or is Kyrgios
Yes.
still
No,
higher?
he's the highest ranked.
Wow, that's so cool.
And that will
That's-
take him into Indian Wells this week as well, which is essentially the 5th slam.
I love the
Okay,
demon.
Indian Wells.
Yeah,
I love
so
the
it's in
huge
India.
event.
He's
Yeah.
such,
No,
such a sweet man.
What's that, California? I think it's California.
Indian Wells.
Indian
I
Wells
just,
not
yeah, I
in
don't know.
That's not in California.
It's in America.
I think it's
Okay,
is it in
all
New
right.
York?
Okay.
No, I think it's California. Look,
Look, it's big.
We'll check
it's
back
big.
on
Where's
that.
the 5th slam? We know
it's the
it's
5th
good.
slam. It's a gorgeous place to like watch. It's incredible.
Love the demon.
But a couple
I love
other-
watching him play, and I love his
good to see.
post game presses.
He's just
win
so-
or
He
lose.
seems like a lovely guy.
He's just
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And he's always going to be our boy.
And it's refreshing for us
After
as-
Kyrgios.
After Kyrgios.
Yeah.
and
Well, we lost
Tomic.
Barty,
It's just
unfortunately.
so
Yeah.
hard as an Australian tennis fan.
It is
Well, we don't
hard
have Barty
to defend
anymore.
Kyrgios. It's very, very hard.
Just
So yeah,
awful.
good on you, Demon. Yeah, we love
Keep
you.
fighting
A
the
couple
fight.
other things though on the tennis. So Nadal has his exit from the top 10 this week. The first time he's exited in 18 years.
That
That is
fucking
That's
impressive.
912 weeks.
That is huge.
912 weeks straight in the top.
in the top 10.
He's watching. Again, you're
Animal.
more of a tennis guy than me, but when I've watched Nadal,
you
he's
can't dislike the bloke.
you can't. He's such
Him
a
and Federer could do no wrong.
yeah. But him and Feds
See,
have
Nadal's early career, he had the slight bad boy arc, but it was lovable bad boy.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he grew.
And then the world met Novak Djokovic.
You got to see
yeah, and then we see a
you
real.
got to see
yeah.
him age and become an actual good guy. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you were just young.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't
Also-
like, it's not like, yo, you're an asshole. It's like, oh, you're just a young.
And no Djokovic allowed into the US to go to Indian Wells.
Yep, love that. Love
So
that. Keep
can
him
he
out.
play the US Open?
Build that wall.
But can he actually play the US Open? We don't know.
We don't know.
Because he can't even get in to
he's
play
not.
Indian Wells.
Well, he's not.
In other sporting news, our new adopted team of the podcast in the National Rugby League, the Redcliffe Dolphins. The Dolphins won.
What
The
noise does a
Dolphins
dolphin
won.
make?
Yeah, we're going to do that every week. The Dolphins won their first game against the Roosters.
Fuck, I should have put money on
And
it.
the Roosters are Premiership
$6.50.
favourites.
They were very
$6.50.
big
Because the
underdogs.
Roosters are Premiership favourites. They're one of the teams.
And
win
Wayne Bennett, I understand. Look, again, I'm an NRL
He's 72,
novice,
he's 73. He's a dinosaur.
but
he-
fucking
he- yeah.
outcoached. He
Oh, he always
won
out
it.
coaches,
He's
yeah.
still coach.
So yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I was watching the score
28
pop up,
to
going,
18.
oh, they're on here. The Dolphins, the Finns,
We're
they're
gonna
on.
have to watch some NRL
Yeah, we're gonna
games
we're
this
gonna have to
season.
watch the Dolphins this season.
I'm on
We're
the
gonna
Dolphins.
have to get behind them.
I'm on the
Yeah.
Dolphins. Well, I'll get a thing in. We'll have
Dolphin
watch.
sound effects.
Dolphin
yeah.
watch.
Well, I'm just a big fan of cephalopods in general. You know, like
Hang
They're
on.
not
A
a
cephalopod is
cephalopod.
an octopus.
no, cephalopod's like a killer whale dolphin, like that.
No,
sort of
it's
thing.
a
that's a
ship.
porpoise. A cephalopod's an octopus.
Well,
or
that's
a
really-
going in
cuttlefish.
the,
All right. Well, I've had my marine biology wrong this week,
that's
ladies
going
and
in the
gentlemen.
podcast title.
But I learned
I like
something.
cephalopods.
learned something. Cephalopod. There should be a team called the Octopi. There should be. Next in sporting news, Joel. Next in sporting news.
I'm just writing that down. I love cephalopods going in the title.
Well, I love them too, but I like porpoises more, I think.
Porpoises.
We won the cricket.
We did
We
win
won the cricket.
And
Cricket
it's
news.
amazing. Hey, look, the GOAT, Nathan Lyon, is just... He just shows again why he's so good.
Yeah.
And Kuhneman as well, backing him up, was great to see. No Cummins, so Smith was captaining the team.
And
It
you
was
love to
actually
see
a
Smith
fun
captain.
I actually
Yeah.
watched the back half of this test. It was fun to watch.
Look, it was over in 2 days, so the back half was a day. Well, 3 days,
it was
whatever you
fun.
want to call
It
it.
was fun.
Apparently, I didn't watch it. Apparently, the pitch was awful.
Well, every test
bad.
was going to be awful, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's amazing is that win put us into the World Test Championships. We're guaranteed now.
So we've won.
No, to play in the
No,
final.
we just did it. We're in it.
No, but
We're in it.
so and I think it's before the Ashes or after the Ashes, whenever it is in England, we'll
Yep.
play probably India.
Yeah. Okay. All
But
right. Well,
we're guaranteed a spot, and that's what
grudge
that
match. Grudge match incoming. Yeah, love that.
And the thing is as well, no Cummins this week, so the next test starts on Thursday, 2 days' time from now.
Yeah, okay.
So no Cummins again, Smith captains. If we can win that, we tie the series.
Well, Smith seems like a better captain to me. And as
Over
that's as
there,
a cricketing
yes.
novice, yeah. Like, he's just, Smith is...
and our hearts go out to Cummins with
kinda like he
everything
was
he's
yeah,
going
of course,
through.
of course.
Born to do it.
Yeah, oh, he's just...
Yeah, Cummins had the family.
Yeah, and look, this week as well, tomorrow is the ODI state championship, so South Australia versus WA.
Go WA.
So-
Go the Warriors.
Before we finish off, I've just got down here. Congratulations to Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, McLaren, just going back to the F1, they bombed out. They're probably the worst team on the grid.
No.
And Ricciardo took $18 million last year to not drive for McLaren.
King.
So
Get the bag, King.
Get the
yes,
bag,
Daniel Ricciardo.
Ricciardo.
What a lad. What a lad. So I think we finish off with the mailbag, don't we, Joel? Do we have... we'll
have
let you
music
get the
for
phone
that?
up here. We don't have any music for Joel's
Can you
mailbag
guys
yet.
sing something?
It's Joel's mailbag.
Oh, I was gonna go way different
It's
to that,
Joel's
but that's good.
Mailbag.
We'll convene after and get
I just want you guys to kill time while I find these things out.
All right. Yeah, he's got to pull it up. He's really not prepared here. That's better than what I was doing.
No,
That's
look,
much
I am
better.
prepared, but for some reason my phone's shitting itself.
Excuses.
Oh,
And
no,
he-
that's right. I'm on my own.
He's been
no,
given.
No, give me a
He's
minute.
been given the echo fart of shame. That's
Look, I
that's
found
how
it.
we
Just
roll
give me
people into
2
line.
seconds. And we've got it.
We've
Look
got
at
the
that.
mailbag. Jolie,
I got that. All that for 2
you
questions.
too.
but that's okay.
You too can go into Joel's mailbag by DMing Barely Touched Him podcast on Instagram. Give us
Correct.
a follow. Yes, Joel. What have we got?
Okay, so who will be the most overrated player of the season? And that's from
Lob.
Willsy Charlie.
Overrated. You've gone Lob immediately out of
Lob.
the barrel. He doesn't like Lob. Overrated. Oh, so we're talking after the end of this season, like people who are going to get hell hyped up on it, but they're not that good.
So someone's getting hyped up on a player this week, for example.
Oh,
and
so
by the end of
overrated at
this-
the start of this season,
Yeah.
and they don't end up
actually-
providing the goods.
Errol Goulden.
Well, yeah, people are overrating Errol Goulden already.
The hype train is hard on old
I think
Errol.
Fife. I think Fife is going to be the most.
Oh,
overrated
hey,
player this
whoa,
season.
you back off.
Yeah, I don't think
You
he's going
back
to come
off
up
on
with the
my
goods.
boy.
I think he's going to kick no goals 5 in the first game. He's going to miss them all, and then the pressure's going to be on. And then 4
tough.
weeks later, he's going to do his hammy.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Hey, that's footy.
tough.
That's footy.
That's
probably.
Joel,
There's a part of me that agrees. With you.
Joel.
Oh, look, I reckon Took Miller's carrying an injury.
Hey,
No, don't get me wrong. I love Took.
We want Took to do good.
I know, I
do
want
want
him
Took
to
to do
but I'm
well.
worried his injury could have an impact on his year.
Jesus.
All right, so overrated. You've gone.
No,
Took
no, no,
Miller.
no.
That was
All I
depressing.
mean, no. Okay, look, maybe I've said that wrong.
Yep.
I just think if this injury does continue and linger, he's not going to do what he did last year,
Yep.
which was obviously incredible.
Yep.
You compare the two.
Yeah, he
You
could
don't
take a
wanna
step
see
back.
it.
He could
You
take a
want to
step
see
back.
him get 40 every
Oh,
week.
of
'cause
course.
he's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, of course.
But we just got to see how this injury goes.
All right. Yep, those are our picks. We've got Lob from Corey, Fife from me, and Took Miller from Joel. Next up on the mailbag,
Who's going to be the most underrated player of the season? So
Natalie
underrated.
Fife.
Oh. How is Fife underrated?
I'm joking.
How-
I'm joking.
Yeah, right,
I'm joking.
okay,
I'm
yeah,
joking.
right.
I'm
Natalie
joking.
Fife sounds hot.
Natalie Fife does sound hot.
I'd fuck him.
Can you
underrated.
describe Natalie Fife for me?
Blonde
look.
hair, solid buttocks.
Haunches. Big haunches. Underrated player, I would go
So
with.
underrated now, and he's just going to have.
And he's
going to
have a ripper season.
Sam Flanders obviously is going to be
Oh,
called.
it's got to be,
I was
yeah,
about to
Flanders.
say Sam
Apart from my beautiful boy, Patrick Parnell, I would go with Riley O'Brien, actually, from the Crom. I think
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the number one ruck in the comp. He can
so all
be.
Australian.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he can do it. They're probably going to do him dirty and give it to someone else. But I think if Riley O'Brien plays 22 games and the Crom get more wins, he's going to be number one ruck.
Yep.
I'm going to take a bias pick only for the team, but I think McStay for Collingwood is
Yeah.
going to perform much better than people realise.
Yeah, he's looked good.
He's looked good. He's got a very defined purpose to stay within 30 metres, take those grabs, and just grab bags.
I like it.
I
I
think
like it.
he's going to do a lot better than people are
Yep.
realising.
So we've got Riley O'Brien, Dan McStay, and Joel.
Ross Line.
Ross the
Alrighty,
boss.
alrighty.
Yes.
right, we'll go with my real one here.
Yeah.
Now, Mark Robinson put out today his top 50 players.
Did he do it again?
is he starting to do
he's
that?
done it again.
So he had Kerno at number 1.
Shit,
so
we could have talked about this. Oh, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it next week. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got Anyway,
Kerno,
yeah, look,
number
that's
1.
Hey, guys,
Charlie
tune in next
Kerno.
week.
I thought he usually starts at 50 and then teases it back all the way to number
No,
1.
he just went all blew his load straight away.
One.
Kerno.
I don't agree.
Okay, so
Charlie?
so guys, tune in
Charlie
next week
Kerno.
as we discuss Mark
We'll
Robinson.
go in deep on that. I will read the fuck out of this Mark
That'll
Robinson
be our
article.
article.
I'll
Should we just
absolutely
do a Mark Robinson
episode? A Robbo week. We're
Can
going to
you
do
give
Robbo
your
week.
best Robbo impression?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm under the pump. I'll do it next week.
So that's what our article will be next week.
Jared, what does it all mean? Jared, what are we talking about, Jared? Jared, what week? Did he play this week? Jared? No, I'll read that.
Robbo,
Who did he have number 2?
They had Port
Oh, I
this
don't
week.
know.
Oh, actually, they had Port last week, Robbo. So Charlie Kerno number 1. If I was to guess who
That's absurd.
his number 2 would be, I would guess.
I don't know what it was.
Cripps, if he's
Look,
going to
I
put
don't have
that.
a clue what it was. I didn't read the
Maybe
article.
Cameron, maybe Jeremy Cameron, but fuck, Robbo,
But
that's
looking at who he left out of it, he left out Jack Steele. Out of the 50.
well, you
Out of
know,
the 50.
That's fine by me.
I don't really have any qualms with that one.
My
But
number
for my
1.
underrated player, look, let's just get back to that.
Yeah, you're underrated.
Look, not counting last week's result, but Errol Goulden, I think, is going to be an absolute top 10 player by the end of the year.
Yeah, okay, all right, I can see it. I
I've
can
had
see
him-
it.
Do the
I've
Chad
had him-
Warner
After
effect.
this game, yes.
I've had him overrated. You've had him underrated.
Yeah, I like it.
Interesting.
Anything else from the mailbag?
The
Joel?
mailbag, no, that was
That was
all.
it. All right. Well, I think that's a good time to call it this week. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Barely touched him.